Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a stack of notes, articles, research, and pretty much everything else we can find on a topic and deliver you the essential balanced truth.
Yep, it's your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
And this week, we are focused on a destination that I think inspires perhaps the most heated debate in modern travel.
It really does. We are ascending into the stratosphere, both literally and figuratively, to analyze Dubai.
A city that has decided to exist almost entirely in the superlative.
That's the perfect word for it.
I mean, that's the phrase that defines it, isn't it? The city of superlatives. Everything has to be the biggest, the tallest, the shiniest, the most futuristic.
And when you look at the source material, the descriptions are almost cartoonishly extravagant.
They really are.
You've got police driving these exotic supercars. You have the ability to go skiing indoors in the morning.
On manufactured snow, no less.
Exactly. And then in the afternoon, you're riding a 4x4 across actual desert dunes. It's a place of just absolute dramatic extremes.
And that very drama, that's what fuels the central critique of the city, right?
Precisely. We see this really distinct dichotomy in all the commentary. On one side, you have people who view the skyline as, well, as an undeniable, staggering marvel of human ambition.
They see a global city of the future.
A true one, yeah. But then you have the other camp.
The skeptics.
The skeptics who dismiss it completely. They call it a purely manufactured experience.
A place where wealth is the only defining characteristic. A playground for the ultra-rich that lacks any genuine cultural roots or, and this is the word they always use, soul.
And that, right there, is the billion-dollar question that we are tackling today. Is Dubai truly just this extravagant layer of sand and spectacle and gold leaf?
Where if you actually commit to looking beyond the shimmer of the skyscrapers and, those infamous gold-flaked cappuccinos, is there something else?
Is there genuine, fascinating substance and a functioning culture thriving just beneath the surface?
That is our mission. So we're going to start with the essentials. The practical logistics of getting in, how this hyper-efficient machine actually works, and where you should stay no matter your budget.
Then we're taking a deep dive into the hidden culinary heart of the city, which I think we both agree is arguably its true secret weapon.
Oh, absolutely. After that, we will walk you through the genuinely mind-blowing activities, the ones that deliver real value, real memorable experiences.
And we'll contrast the hyper-modern with, the ancient trading routes.
And finally, we will deliver our synthesized, unfiltered verdict. After breaking it all down, is a week in Dubai a worthwhile investment of your precious travel time and your budget?
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this monumental city.
So I think we have to begin with the arrival. Because landing in Dubai, it sets the tone for everything that follows.
It really does.
Dubai International Airport, DXB, it's more than just a massive transit hub. It functions with the precision of a small, incredibly focused country.
And its only mandate is to move people and commerce with maximum speed and, minimum friction.
It's the definition of hyper-efficiency. It's
Yeah.
almost disconcerting how smooth it is.
Yeah, and for a lot of our listeners, that first exposure to the famous Dubai standard actually starts before they even land. It starts when they fly in with Emirates.
Right. The sources noted that flying with a national carrier often feels like the start of the holiday itself. It immediately sets this incredibly high bar for service.
Which then conditions your expectations for the rest of the trip.
But that high standard, well, it unfortunately has a direct impact on logistics.
Yeah.
Specifically, the cost and the timing.
Right, and hits you in the wallet.
Exactly. Our sources all emphasize that for any reasonably priced ticket, you have to book well in advance.
And this is especially true if you're trying to hit that desirable peak season.
Which generally runs from, November right through to the end of March?
Yeah, about that. And that climate caution, that's not something we can just gloss over. It's critical.
It's maybe the most important decision you'll make.
If you ignore that peak season, you risk the entire trip just being ruined by sheer physical discomfort.
We're talking about intense, oppressive heat outside of that window. The feedback we analyzed described late October as intensely hot.
And warned that true summer temperatures can reach extremes that, they physically prevent you from spending any significant time outside. It's not an exaggeration.
Think about that for a moment. If your planned trip hinges on walking the historic souks, or wandering the Al Fahidi neighborhood, or even just strolling along the Walk Promenade.
All the things you want to do.
Right, and you choose to travel in July. You've functionally eliminated the possibility of enjoying any of those activities.
So the practical logistics of when to travel, prioritizing those cooler peak months, It becomes the single most critical decision you make.
Even if it carries a higher price tag, you're basically paying for comfortable access to the city itself.
Okay, so once you've navigated the climate choice, moving from the airport into the city center is, again, surprisingly simple. It's a testament to that engineered efficiency.
The Dubai metro system is arguably one of the finest pieces of infrastructure in the whole region.
Oh, it's incredible.
It is. It's clean, it's modern, fully air-conditioned, and cheap. And it provides a direct, stress-free connection from DXB right into the heart of downtown and beyond.
But using the metro, it immediately introduces you to a key cultural practice that travelers have to be aware of.
The designated carriages.
Exactly. You'll see really clear signage for women and children only carriages. And this isn't arbitrary, it's a very deliberate design choice.
Correct. And for our listener, this is about respect and awareness. These spaces reflect the cultural importance placed on privacy, on modesty, and on ensuring comfort for women in public settings.
Especially during peak travel times when those carriages can get really crowded.
So as a male traveler, you just avoid those carriages. It's that simple. As a female traveler, you have the option to use them for added comfort.
It's an immediate but gentle reminder that you're a guest in a society with different norms, and navigating it successfully just requires simple observance.
Now, if the metro isn't your preference, taxis and ride shares are everywhere.
And crucially, compared to prices in, say, San Francisco or central London, they are surprisingly affordable.
Which brings us to one of the most vital insights from our sources, and it's about the drivers themselves.
Yes, this is where the tourist bubble first breaks.
It really is. The engine that built, cleans, and runs this hyper-efficient city is overwhelmingly expat. They're hailing from nations like Pakistan, India, the Philippines, Bangladesh, and beyond.
And so your taxi driver, who's often a hardworking individual on an employment visa, is basically a living library of grounded, non-tourist information.
It's such an invaluable resource, and it's one that's criminally underused by so many visitors who just, stare at their phone during the ride.
Right. That expat driver is your first and maybe your best introduction to the true multicultural hustle of the city.
They know the back streets, they know where the rent is cheapest, and critically, they know where the real food is.
So instead of asking the hotel concierge for a dinner recommendation, ask your driver where he takes his family for the best biryani or the freshest shawarma.
That simple interaction immediately grounds your perspective. It shatters the perception that everyone in Dubai is only interested in high luxury.
These conversations, they're the foundation of understanding the city's human scale.
So once we've efficiently arrived, where do we actually settle down? The accommodation spectrum is immense. It ranges from the most absurdly opulent 7-star hotels to, humble hostels.
So we've segmented this into 3 primary zones based on what type of experience you prioritize. We're calling it the triple choice.
Let's start with the spectacular, the I'm in Dubai zone, downtown.
This is the area surrounding the Burj Khalifa and the Dubai Mall. This choice is all about location, spectacle.
If your travel priority is maximum wow factor, waking up to the sight of the world's tallest building outside your window,
And having instant access to all the main modern icons.
then downtown is where you want to be. It's convenient, visually stunning, and undeniably sleek.
But the trade-off is pretty clear. It's the highest cost bracket, and it offers the least local character.
Exactly. The area is designed for the global visitor. It's polished, it's pristine, it's entirely international. You're experiencing the vision of the city, but maybe not the reality of daily life for most of its residents.
So for the learner, for you listening, if you're seeking cultural insight, this location requires the most effort to escape that bubble.
Okay, moving to the coast, you have the Dubai Marina and JBR.
Which stands for Jumeirah Beach Residence.
And this location offers a distinctly different vibe. It's that relaxed beach resort feel.
This area is a dense forest of high-rise residential towers, offering incredible views, a fantastic beach, and the popular walking area known as the Walk Promenade.
It feels younger. It's very much centered around leisure, and it's often favored by families or those expats who prioritize an active outdoor lifestyle combined with excellent dining options.
It's a great option, but it comes with a strong caveat that was mentioned in the sources.
Which is that it can feel like a very nice, very clean, very safe bubble.
Right. You're slightly removed from the critical energy centers of the city, the business districts, the trading ports. And while it's relaxing, it's a lifestyle zone. It's not the working city.
So you need to budget for extra transportation time and cost if you want to visit the historical sites from there.
And finally, the third choice, the one we highly recommend for the learner, the cultural and budget heart of the city. Old Dubai.
This covers the areas of Danira and Bur Dubai, flanking the historic Dubai Creek.
The perspective shifts dramatically here. The accommodation is significantly cheaper, often a fraction of the cost of downtown or JBR.
And you are immediately situated in the historic trading center of Dubai. You're surrounded by the traditional souks and the noise and energy of a genuine working neighborhood.
This area is less polished, it's undeniably more chaotic, sometimes crowded, but fundamentally it is just more real.
So if your priority is cultural immersion, budget savings, and understanding the foundation upon which this global superpower was built, Bur Dubai is the clear winner.
You're sacrificing some creature comforts. It's not as sterile as downtown, but you gain invaluable proximity to history and to human life.
So the logistical decision is highly personalized.
It really is.
Yeah.
Do you want the curated visual spectacle of downtown, the resort-like comfort of the marina, or the gritty, chaotic, fascinating reality of old Dubai?
The location you choose fundamentally dictates the flavor of your entire trip.
And the cost differential is staggering enough that it allows people to travel to Dubai on dramatically different budgets.
All right, let's transition now to a topic that I find often gets overshadowed by the city's architectural feats. Let's talk about the food.
Yes. When people picture dining in Dubai, they often envision spectacle, don't they?
Totally. Celebrity chefs, ridiculously expensive cuts of meat, and maybe, just maybe, that iconic $25 gold cappuccino.
And look, those spectacles absolutely exist, of course. They cater directly to that high-end tourist expectation.
But focusing exclusively on that level of indulgence means missing what our sources unanimously agreed is Dubai's greatest, most overlooked asset.
Which is its phenomenal, authentic, and incredibly cheap eats.
This is directly tied to the expat workforce we were just talking about. When you have a population of over 200 nationalities, all bringing their own culinary traditions.
The city effectively becomes one of the greatest, most diverse street food scenes on the planet.
This is the city's true culinary soul. It's powered by people who are cooking the food they eat at home for their neighbors and their colleagues.
I find this so fascinating because it completely flips the script on that soulless city narrative.
It really does.
When people say Dubai lacks culture, they're usually looking for, I don't know, ancient ruins. But the culture is alive and thriving in the kitchens, driven by the workforce.
And this provides authentic, incredible cuisine from every corner of the Middle East, South Asia, and the Far East. We're talking unparalleled representation from Lebanon, Iran, Pakistan, India, the Philippines. The list goes on.
The key recommendation here, and this is a big one, is to abandon the assumption that the best food is found inside the air-conditioned malls or the high-end hotel lobbies.
To find the true culinary heart, you need to head straight into the back streets of Darera or Bur Dubai.
In fact, we would highly suggest trying to book a dedicated food tour in that historic area.
That's a great idea. It serves two purposes. It exposes you to places you would probably never dare wander into alone.
For sure.
And it forces you into that sensory overload environment that contrasts so wonderfully with the precision of downtown.
Let's bring this to life with some specifics from the source material. We're talking about finding these little hole-in-the-wall bakeries serving paper-thin Egyptian flatbreads fresh out of the oven.
Perfect for scooping up hummus.
Oh, absolutely. Or the legendary Lebanese shawarma stands, where for maybe $2 you get this explosive wrap packed with complex flavors made quickly and efficiently.
And the desserts.
Yes. Think of the traditional Emirati lukamat donuts.
They're so good. They are these small, crispy balls of dough served warm and then immediately drenched in this sticky, fragrant date syrup.
It's simple, it's humble, and it's unbelievably delicious. This is the flavor of Dubai beyond the gold flake steak.
And the practical advice, again, it's so important. Ask the locals.
Ask the taxi drivers, the hotel staff, the vendors in the souks. Ask them where they go for lunch.
These places won't have glossy signs or celebrity endorsements, but they will be vibrant, crowded, and serving food that is authentic to the region they represent.
And the contrast this creates is incredible. You have the option to spend, say, $300 on a beautifully presented tasting menu one night.
And then follow it up with a $10 feast the next night that tastes exponentially more authentic and complex.
Simply because it's being prepared out of love and necessity rather than for a high-end margin.
And, tying the culinary scene back to the social structure, we have to discuss the institution that acts as the social nexus for that massive international community.
Ah, yes. Friday brunch.
Friday brunch.
Yeah.
For someone who hasn't experienced it, this is not a quiet breakfast service.
Not at all. It is an institution. It's an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink 4-hour marathon of total indulgence.
Often hosted in the city's biggest and fanciest hotels.
And while it is definitely expensive, it can run into the hundreds of dollars per person. Its purpose is critical.
It is the central pillar of the expat social calendar. For those living thousands of miles from their families and traditional communities, this ritual acts as a communal gathering.
A massive celebration designed to blow off steam after a long week of work.
And for the visitor, it offers a fascinating, almost voyeuristic glimpse into the high-end expat lifestyle. You see the sheer scale of wealth and indulgence, but it's framed within a strong social context.
It's a spectacle, yes, but it's a deeply social one. If you want to observe the sheer energy and community spirit of the international residents, a one-off brunch experience is a truly unique observational point.
So takeaway for dining is clear. Approach the food scene with both high-end and low-end expectations.
Splurge once for the experience and the view, but then spend the rest of your budget hunting for those hidden, cheap, and flavorful gems in old Dubai.
That is where you truly understand the vibrant living culture of the city.
Okay, we move now into the experiences themselves, and this is where Dubai truly earns its reputation for contrast.
It really does. We have the modern trifecta, the things you must do to appreciate the hypermodern ambition, and then that's balanced by the authentic historic experiences.
Let's start at the absolute peak, the Burj Khalifa. Visiting the at-the-top observation deck is, I think it's mandatory.
I agree. The building is not just tall. It is an outright statement. It is, as the source materials emphasize, undeniably staggering.
It's less about the structure itself and more about the perspective it gives you. When you look down from that height, the city below doesn't look like a typical urban sprawl.
No, it looks like a complex, sprawling circuit board.
That's the perfect description. Meticulously organized into geometric lines, laid out on the edge of the desert.
That image of perfect, engineered order is a testament to human ambition that is, I don't know, almost philosophical.
And a crucial practical tip here, to maximize this specific experience, book the sunset slot.
Yes, it is absolutely worth the extra cost. By doing that, you effectively get 3 distinct views for the price of 1 ticket.
You see the city organized in bright daylight. You witness the magical transition as the sun sets over the Arabian Gulf, and then you watch the spectacular illumination of the cityscape as night falls.
It transforms the experience from a simple viewing platform visit into an entire evening event.
Right at the base of the Burj is its companion piece, the Dubai Mall. Now, usually we advise travelers to avoid dedicating large chunks of time to shopping centers.
But this mall defies categorization. It is a destination in itself.
The scale is what truly differentiates it. It is so vast that walking from one end to the other is a physical undertaking.
And it's not just retail, it's an entertainment complex. It includes an Olympic-sized ice rink, an enormous indoor waterfall, and most famously, a truly massive aquarium.
I mean, imagine this. You are walking through a high-end retail area, and suddenly, through a wall, you're watching sharks and enormous manta rays glide silently past shoppers carrying designer bags.
It's a complete, deliberate sensory overload designed to fuse consumption with spectacle.
And that whole sensory experience culminates just outside the mall with the Dubai Fountain Show.
It's free, spectacularly choreographed to music and light, and it's truly massive.
I think the analysis was spot on. Cheesy, a little impressive, absolutely.
Right. You know exactly what you're getting. A massive, dazzling water show. But the sheer scale and the backdrop of the Burj Khalifa make it an evening must-do. It's an easy win for maximum spectacle value.
However, as we stressed earlier, if your week in Dubai consists only of the Burj, the mall, and the fountains,
That you walk away with the soulless city verdict confirmed.
exactly. To find the authentic heartbeat, you must make a deliberate choice to seek out the past. You must cross the Dubai Creek.
This transition is the fundamental moment of the trip, moving from the air-conditioned, ultra-modern precision of downtown to old Dubai.
You start in the Al Fahidi historical neighborhood. It's often called Bustakia, and that's where you see the traditional wind tower architecture.
These towers were the original ingenious forms of air conditioning. They'd channel wind down into the homes.
It's incredible, and wandering these narrow, winding alleys offers a powerful glimpse of the city before oil wealth transformed it.
It's peaceful, quiet, and it provides the architectural context that's often missing in the modern city centers. You also find the textile souk here, which is a bustling market focused on fabrics and garments.
But the true highlight, the essential must-do moment, is the Abra crossing.
This is where the cost of living and the cost of spectacle just collide.
You pay 1 dirham.
1 dirham. To provide context for our listeners, that's roughly 25 cents USD.
For that incredibly nominal price, you hop onto a traditional wooden water taxi in Abra to cross the Dubai Creek. And this isn't a curated tour.
No, this is chaotic, wonderful public transportation.
It's everything the metro is not. The Abra is crowded with workers, the engine sputters, the wooden hull rocks, and your driver is just casually dodging larger cargo dhows and other Abras.
It's a jolt of raw human energy and noise. And the creek itself, that's the historical lifeblood of Dubai. It's the natural harbor that allowed it to become a trading post 100 years ago.
The contrast is palpable. 1 hour, you ride the world's fastest, most advanced elevator up the Burj Khalifa, relying on technology developed in the 21st century.
The next hour, you are on a $1 wooden boat, crossing a vital commercial artery that has functioned almost identically for the past 5 decades.
It's the past and the future of the city coexisting in this noisy, functional harmony.
And once you cross the creek on that Abra, you are right in the heart of the gold souk and the spice souk.
The gold souk is visually stunning, or perhaps blinding is a better word.
Yeah, that's fair. Row after row of shop windows dripping with ornate gold jewelry. It's a truly incredible, often overwhelming display of wealth focused purely on trade.
And then right next door, the spice souk offers the complete opposite sensory experience.
Instead of visual overload, you get olfactory overload. Sacks piled high with exotic fragrant spices, herbs, frankincense, myrrh.
The air is just thick with aromas, and the vendors are eager to engage in the ancient art of negotiation.
Okay, finally, let's tackle the desert adventure. Almost every single visitor to Dubai signs up for a desert safari. It has become synonymous with the tourist experience.
And for good reason, I think. The daytime experience, the 4x4 dune bashing, is genuinely thrilling.
It is. The vehicles drive expertly up and down those massive sand dunes, and it feels exactly as the source described, like a roller coaster on sand.
And the desert sunset itself is objectively beautiful. That moment when the vast silence hits you and the colors change over the endless dunes, it's profound and authentic.
But here's where we apply the critical lens. The sources were very clear about managing expectations for the evening portion of the safari, the camp experience.
Yes, the sources called it a well-oiled tourism machine.
And that is the key insight. The evening camp, which involves a buffet dinner, camel rides, henna painting, and a belly dancing performance, while it's fun, it feels heavily staged.
It is not an intimate, authentic cultural discovery of hidden Bedouin life.
So what exactly feels staged?
Well, the sheer volume of people, for one. You're often sharing the experience with hundreds of other tourists in a massive, purpose-built encampment.
Right. And the performance is professional and entertaining, but it is purely that. Entertainment designed for mass consumption.
You have to go into it accepting it as a thrilling commercial experience, not a deep cultural dive.
So, to summarize the essential activities, go up the Burj for the view of human ambition.
Go on the Abra for the chaos and the soul.
And do the desert safari for the sheer physical thrill, but just calibrate your expectations for the evening performance. All right, now that we've broken down the spectrum of Dubai life, let's synthesize the advice. We want to ensure the listener maximizes value and, perhaps more importantly, avoids the common pitfall.
Yes, and our sources were pretty specific about what to skip.
The primary theme for skipping things is, I think, avoiding luxury for luxury's sake.
I agree. If you're spending hundreds of dollars purely for a photo opportunity like an overly expensive pool day at a resort you aren't staying at, or chasing that absurd gold cappuccino simply to post it online,
You're missing the entire point of the deep dive. Prioritize experiences over expensive optics.
Another critical piece of advice is about geographical isolation. While the Palm Jumeirah is a remarkable feat of engineering,
A massive, palm-shaped artificial island. It's incredible.
it is. But staying in a resort there will entirely isolate you from the human and cultural center of the city. You end up seeing only a very luxurious, very artificial version of Dubai.
If you want the real city, stay closer to the creek or downtown.
And speaking of isolation, use the malls strategically. They are fantastic air-conditioned sanctuaries, especially in the hotter months, and the Dubai Mall is a required spectacle.
But do not dedicate entire days to shopping.
Please don't. The true living city, the culture, the diversity, the history, it all exists outside those air-conditioned corridors.
Use the malls as efficient walkways, not as destinations in themselves.
So this brings us back to the central argument that has, I think, permeated our whole discussion. the soul question.
Right. If Dubai lacks the ancient stones of Rome or the ruins of Cairo, where is its cultural value found?
The narrative we have to understand is that Dubai's story isn't about ancient history. It's about a unique, meteoric growth achieved in a single generation.
It's a global crossroads.
Yeah.
It's a modern city built on the foundation of an older trading post. Its soul isn't historical, it is entirely contemporary, and it is found in the people.
And this is where the deeper analysis begins. The diversity is the defining feature.
We mentioned 200 nationalities coexisting. What this means in practice is that the local Emirati population constitutes a small minority within their own city.
So the vast majority of residents, the workers, the doctors, the teachers, the construction managers, they're all expats.
And what's fascinating here is the resultant functional harmony. The city works with incredible efficiency, despite this massive cultural mosaic.
And while there are certainly social complexities, a highly tiered employment system, differing levels of citizenship.
The overall environment is defined by order, safety, and operational precision. The sheer act of over 200 nations working together, building their lives, and sustaining this massive enterprise is a form of cultural depth itself.
Albeit a modern, ambitious one.
Right. And that functional reality contrasts heavily with the image of chaos one might expect from such massive migration.
Our sources all stress that the city is incredibly clean, safe, and operates with a focus on commerce and future planning. You feel a constant sense of motion and progress.
And that feeling, that's the heart of Dubai's modern identity.
Okay, finally, we need to address the cultural etiquette. A lot of potential visitors express worry or confusion about the cultural restrictions.
And while it is an Islamic country with firm social and legal rules, the consensus is that it is highly tolerant and welcoming towards guests.
The key is encapsulated in one word: respect.
Being a respectful guest is paramount. The general rule is to dress modestly in public spaces, meaning covering your shoulders and knees.
Particularly when you're in traditional areas like the souks or public parks.
And while you might see tourists wearing less in highly commercialized areas like the marina, adhering to modest dress is just a simple sign of consideration for the local culture.
And there are two non-negotiable legal and social boundaries to be fully aware of. First, pus displays of affection are strictly prohibited.
This is a serious cultural boundary that guests must observe.
Second, alcohol is not freely available everywhere. It is restricted to licensed venues, which are primarily within hotels and clubs.
The overall message is that Dubai has built its identity on being an accessible global hub, but that access comes with the expectation that visitors will recognize and adhere to the fundamental cultural framework of the Emirates.
It's not about severe restriction. It's about simple, practical consideration for the society that's hosting you. Okay. We've taken the elevator to the top of the world, we've dodged sputtering boats on the historic creek, and we've tasted the incredible cheap cuisine that truly fuels this monumental city. Now it's time to land our final verdict.
A trip to Dubai, is it worth the investment?
What do you think?
My answer is a definitive yes. But I have to say it is a conditional yes.
Oh.
The trip's success hinges entirely on the traveler's willingness to look beyond the immediate spectacle.
I agree completely. My verdict is also a resounding yes, but only if you approach it as a dual destination.
What do you mean by that?
You have to commit to embracing the entire spectrum of the city. If you only remain in the hyper-polished, air-conditioned downtown bubble, you will leave thinking the city is exactly what the critics say it is: soulless.
The value of the experience lies in that incredible contrast. You must stand in awe of the spectacle, the Burj Khalifa, this monument to the city's ambition.
But then you have to actively seek out the counterpoint.
You must take the time to get wonderfully lost in the alleyways of the souks, board that chaotic $1 Abra, and taste the food prepared by the over 200 nationalities who actually make this machine function.
When you move between those extremes, from the world's most advanced elevator to the traditional 1 dirham boat, you get the full, complex, and highly interesting picture.
You move beyond the glossy veneer, and you begin to appreciate the true ambition of this city and the unique, multicultural engine that drives it forward.
The city's soul isn't some historical artifact to be viewed. It is a present condition to be observed.
It's found in the harmony of those diverse people building their lives together, in the echo of the call to prayer over the creek, and in those unpolished backstreet kitchens.
Dubai is not soulless. Its cultural vitality must simply be sought in specific, lived-in locations. It challenges all your preconceptions about what a modern culture can be.
So go, but go with open eyes and a willingness to step off the polished main path.
See Dubai as a city that is simultaneously a global crossroads and a uniquely functional experiment in rapid modernization.
And we encourage you to explore that profound dynamic. How does a society composed of people from nearly every nation on Earth maintain such staggering functional harmony and efficiency?
The question of how they manage to live and work and thrive together is perhaps the most compelling reason of all to visit and observe this unique metropolis.